Hello, everyone. It's Rich Fettke, co-CEO of Real Wealth Network. Super stoked that you're here today for creating your plan to create real wealth. This is the first time we've done this webinar. Should be a good time. About halfway through this webinar, I'm going to bring on our 4 investment counselors at Real Wealth to share some of their experience and feedback and answer questions and all that. But before that, let's jump right in. I want to talk about my goal today with this webinar. It's to help you gain clarity and create a clear plan that leads you to real wealth. So basically, you have the money and the freedom to live life on your own terms. It's all about that. And so it's important, living life on your own terms with the people you love, to do what you want, when you want, and be able to do it, to be job optional. That's what real wealth is to us. And so what we're going to talk about today is how you can create that plan, not only getting clarity on where you want to go and what that looks like, but also kind of how do you put together the basics of moving toward that. So someday in the future, hopefully the not too distant future, you are there living real wealth and living life on your own terms. There is a problem though. The problem is so often that most people don't get clear on where they want to go. It's just going through life, doing the day-to-day, not having a plan on how to get there. So we're going to really look at that problem. We're going to solve that problem today. And the other problem is a lot of people just wait until it's too late for action. They get to their middle ages or later than that, and they say, man, what did I do? Why did I not stop to think about this? Because now I'm going to have to work forever. I'm not job optional. I don't have enough to retire. And they get caught in that fear and worry and doubt. So let's get that. Let's get in front of that. Let's avoid the fear. Let's avoid the worry and the doubt and come up with a game plan to get you to being job optional so you can live life on your own terms. So here's what we're going to go over today. Our agenda, we're going to take a look at what is real wealth for you. Everyone, it's different, right? Different lifestyles, different values. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at where are you now? Are you living real wealth already? If so, that's awesome. If not, where are you in the stages of wealth? We're going to look at the importance of mindset. Absolutely vital is getting your mind right. All the investors that we've worked with, over 52,000 members at Real Wealth now. What we hear and what we see is the people with the right mindset are the ones who get to creating real wealth sooner and actually get there. If you don't change your mindset, you often won't ever get there. We're going to take a look at the 3 stages of wealth building. How do you go from where you are to the next phase to financial freedom? We're going to talk about financial freedom, what that means and what that means for you. We're going to also take a look at where to invest. So how to create passive income, how to create ongoing cash flow so you don't have to work forever, and how to do that. There's different ways you can do that. And we're going to look at the different options. We're going to look at tracking your progress. How do you know that you're on track with your plan? Are you moving ahead and on the right pace and keeping up with things? Also getting the help you need, not trying to only do it on your own, and what kind of help you can bring into your plan. I'm going to talk about taking action, which is often a biggest challenge for some people. They get really clear on what they want, and then they wait and they wait and they wait. And so we're going to talk about taking action. And at that part of the webinar, that's when I'm going to bring on the investment counselors at Real Wealth, who've worked with clients and worked with our members on helping them create real wealth plans and helping them actually take action on those plans. So we're going to get feedback from them and also get input from our investment counselors on what they're doing to live real wealth, because all of our investment counselors have their own game plan for creating real wealth. So we'll get feedback on that. And then we'll finish off by just looking at real wealth and your next steps and where you're going in the future. So let's take a look at that. What is real wealth? So it's looking into your future. Think about that right now. If you look into your future, what does living life on your own terms look like for you? What is it for you? What's important to you? What do you value? Is it time with your family? Is it getting outside, having the freedom to do what you want when you want? Is it having that awesome house, your dream home? Maybe that's real wealth for you. Maybe it's more time with your family. Maybe it's giving back and contributing. Maybe it's hooking up with Habitat for Humanity and building homes. Maybe it's helping to feed the poor. Whatever it is for you, think about that. What is real wealth for you? And maybe jot that down. Take some notes here. What does living life on your own terms look like for you? And it's really important to step back and look at how you want your lifestyle to be, not getting caught up in what society says it should be or any of that stuff. Great book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. In this book, he says the hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. It gets dangerous when the taste of having more money, more power, more prestige, it increases ambition faster than satisfaction. So we don't want to get caught into that trap of having more, getting caught up in that. I have to have more money. I have to have more money or more power, whatever it is, more prestige, a bigger house, a nicer car, whatever. If that gets in your way, it can increase your ambition, but definitely squash the satisfaction of life. So let's take a look at where you are right now. How satisfied are you with your current lifestyle? On a scale of 0 to 10, how satisfied are you day to day? How much happiness do you feel? How much freedom do you feel? How do you feel about your wealth, your money? So go ahead and write that down. How satisfied are you on a scale of 0 to 10? Wherever it is where it is. Not good or bad. It's just a rating of where you are because it is going to get better, especially when you kick in your real wealth plan. Let's think about your current lifestyle as well. These are the key questions to start when you're looking at creating a real wealth plan, a financial freedom plan. What is your current lifestyle costing you right now? And you might not know off the top of your head, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit, about tracking that. But just off the top of your head, what do you think that your monthly nut is for your current lifestyle? What's it costing you now monthly? And then what about your current cash flow? How much cash flow do you have coming into your life? Maybe it's from your job, your career, your W-2, or if you own your own business. Added to that, what else cash flow, what other cash flow sources do you have? Dividends, real estate. So what is your current cash flow? Write that number down. And again, you can come back to this. You might want to write the question down because if you don't know it off the top of your head, it's something that you want to be clear on. And then going from that, where can you reduce your expenses? So it seems a little weird to ask, but this is part of creating that financial freedom. Financial freedom is having enough cash flow to cover your expenses month by month without having to work. So where can you reduce your expenses? This is where frugality comes in. Looking at where you can be more frugal, looking at where you might have expenses that don't really bring you a ton of joy. A lot of times we have these expenses that are not adding a lot of joy to our lives. They're actually creating more stress. And this is one of the first stages, is really taking a look at your current lifestyle, what your current cash flow is and your lifestyle costs, but where you can reduce those expenses so you can really step back and say, okay, this is what I really need. This is what I really need to cover, to live life on my own terms, to be job optional. And then the final question is, how can you increase your income? A lot of times that's difficult to do if you have a W-2 job. Yes, you can continue with self-mastery and self-improvement and get better, learn new skills, move up the corporate ladder or whatever you want to call it. And you can increase your income there. Maybe if you're in sales, you can really look at how can you be a more effective salesperson. But what other ways? That's one way to increase your income. Is there any other ways you can increase your income? And we'll take a look at that in a little bit on possible ways you can do that. Of course, one of those would be investing, and there's other ways. So earlier I mentioned about mindset. So mindset is absolutely vital. We really need to start with that garden of the mind, if you will, because so often it can really get in our way. And if you have your mindset right, it can be the biggest aid in moving toward what you want. People who achieve early financial freedom, they build wealth and they acquire assets for the purpose of producing passive income. So really in excess of what they have. So this is that mindset shift. It's moving from a paycheck mentality to building a portfolio of assets that really generates like automatic ongoing income. So if you're looking to create real wealth and financial freedom, that the first step is really to change the way you think, really to step back and look at how you're thinking. So we have some amazing articles and blog articles on realwealth.com. If you go in there and you click on the blog, you'll find multiple articles on this that can help. Just really valuable. One of the great ones I love is this money mindset, 7 ways to get one, a money mindset. So really turning it around. Because when it comes to managing your money, it's really, really important to follow that spend less and save more advice. But there's definitely a more important tactic. And it really, really, it comes down to that mind shift, the money mindset. So, tactics are like incremental. Tactics will move you step by step towards something, but a mind shift, when you shift your mindset, that can be exponential. Everything can change in a big way. So why is it important? Because really, it's like your thoughts can create your feelings and they can create your behavior. So if you grow up with these money scripts, your parents are saying things to you, like money is the root of all evil or anything like this, or rich people are greedy. It's funny, it can be like running in the background and we don't even know it. So investigating that, stepping back and looking at, what are that money mindset, what are those programs and those languages and those scripts that I'm running in my head, and really stepping back. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that. Again, I would say definitely get in there and take a look at what that might be, and maybe even write down what are those 3 things that stand out. If you just pause for a moment, actually I'll ask you right now, when you think about money and how you see money, what are 3 words that come up for you? Write those down. When you think about money, what are 3 words that come up for you? For some people, sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's poverty, it's greed. Some people, it's choice and freedom. So look at the words that you wrote down and notice if they're positive or they're negative. And if they're negative, it's a good idea to step back a little bit and really take a look at that. Because money really, it's just a tool, but we put all these thoughts and feelings into it. So you got to kind of give your money a break. You have to ask yourself, where did these ideas originally come from? And you kind of want to dig down and look at that, where that came from. Kathy, my wife, Kathy, my co-CEO at Real Wealth, is really big on this. She's done so much work around changing her money mindset. And she will attest to that when nothing in her life changed financially until she changed her money mindset. She gave me a really great exercise once. She said, imagine that money is a character, almost like a cartoon character or some type of character. So think about that for you. What she said to me is, if you were to imagine money as some type of character or an image, what comes to mind? So think about that for you. If you were to imagine money as some type of character or an image, what comes to mind for you? Write that down. And so she asked me this years ago. I think it was probably 15 years ago, and it was weird. I thought of Mr. Clean, that the cleaner guy, Mr. Clean, and I just saw him as I saw money as happy and confident and strong and kind of buffed and always willing to help. And it kind of surprised me to see that my perception of money actually seemed pretty healthy. But Kathy has asked other people that, and there was something like this nasty little gremlin or a little scary demon or a wicked witch. So just notice when I asked you that, Kathy's question about imagining money, some type of character, just notice what came to mind. It is what it is. It's what you noticed. And it's just kind of cool to notice and see what's going on in that huge part of our mind, the subconscious. Another thing you can do with your money mindset is to kind of write your money story. That's like I was saying earlier, like what are those comments that your parents told you, like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, or money's the root of all evil. So sometimes that money story comes from that. So it can be really helpful to write down, what's your money story? Where did it come from? Are those beliefs real and true? Or are they something that has been carried over and something that you need to bust up and get rid of? It's really cool. It's really important to look at. And then the last piece on money mindset, as you shift it, I mean, there's a lot more you can do. Like if you look at this article, Money Mindset, 7 ways to get one. Melanie gives 7 different ways and processes you can go through in this to really get your money mindset in the right place. But it's really vital in getting your brain in the right place. So my favorite thing, most important thing that I do is mindfulness and gratitude. I think one of the biggest thing is focusing on gratitude and what you already have can really get rid of that scarcity mindset around money. If you feel like you don't have enough and you're obsessing about what you don't have, And if you start to focus on what you do have, what you're grateful for, and all that stuff, it can be super helpful. And I love to, it's, if you've attended some of my webinars, you know how much I love future self and going to meet my future self. And I've taken you through the process of meeting your future self. So I think that's also another really powerful tool to think about. Go into the future, close your eyes, and imagine meeting you, let's say 10 years from now, or maybe 20 years from now. Meet that wise self and that wise guide. It's you, let's say 20 years in the future, and just notice what does your future self think about money? What do they say to you? What do they want you to do? Really things about how do they attract money, and getting into those statements, those mental statements of I have everything I need. Money's a tool. It's not good or bad. You can even say I love money because, it doesn't, break up the love of money, and, love of money is the root of all evil. It's like, maybe step back and look at, well, wait a minute. I love money because what does it do for you, and what can it do for you? Just like I showed earlier, what real wealth might be for you. Okay, so that's money mindset, real important. And that, I think it's the first stage on this journey, is getting clarity around where is your brain and where's your head around money. Then after that, then you can start to shift into the tactics once you get your head straight.